Morning, everybody. It's Randy. I put up on social media, I guess, left it all to you, what I wanted to do today, whether it was go out in the freezing cold snow and explore someplace new, or stay in a nice warm house and cut up geodes. And overwhelmingly, everybody suggested that I go out in the cold and explore someplace new. So that's what we're going to do today. I was looking around on some geologic maps. I'm interested in chasing around the Glenshaw Formation and these marine zones and finding some creeks and ravines where there's exposures of it. And I happened to find a spot not too far from here, about a half hour away, where there's Glenshaw exposed. And well, at least it's on the bedrock map. But then looking at the topo maps on the creek, there were some real nice looking cliff banks there. So I thought I'd go check those out, see if there's anything of interest in there. Other people might be aware of this and have gone through it before, but it's new to me. I've never been there, so this could be an video of just me finding absolutely nothing of interest. That's what we're going to be doing, is exploring around in that neck of the woods. Hopefully we can find some fossils in marine zones. All right, we're at the first stop. Let's get out and see what it looks like. Okay, so this is kind of typical for what I run up against. So it's a pretty steep cliff face, but not a whole lot of exposure on there. It's pretty well overgrown. You can see up here there are some sandstone ledges sticking out around these areas, but overall this isn't what we're looking for, so we'll probably just get back in the truck and head somewhere else. It is, however, quite pretty. I will give it that. And it looks like they have some tree plantings going on here along the edge. I'm guessing that's maybe to stabilize the bank, or just for the sake of putting in more trees, which is always a good thing. So anyways, on to the next spot. All right, we've arrived nearish to spot number 2. I got a bit of a hike ahead of me down some trails to try and get down to the creek, so I'm gonna do that now and see what we can find down there. Going kind of off-road here. Looks like some other people have gone here, but there's another trail that comes in down below the one I was just on, and that's what I want to be on, and I want to cut off a whole bunch of unnecessary walking, so kind of off-road it is. If I don't fall down this slope, it'll be amazing. All right. That was interesting. Fun stuff. Onward. This is one of the cliff banks right behind me that I want to check out. Problem is I'm up at the top of it, not the bottom of it. So there's a trail right over here that can take me down to the creek level, where I can then follow the creek back up to this and see what it looks like. So that's what we're gonna do now. Fight my way through these shrubs. This would actually be way worse in the summer than it is now. Well guys, I got cliffed out in deep water trying to get to that last outcrop, so I couldn't actually get to it, but right behind me is some strata at roughly the same elevation, which is pretty much blocky sandstones and siltstone, so I suspect that's going to be a lot of what that other one was. This is the first real outcrop that I've seen. Big blocky sandstone down there at the bottom, more sandstones, silty sandstones and shales going up through there. My guess is that these are some sort of terrestrial channel fill sands. I don't really know. I don't normally work this type of rock, but it's interesting and it's nice to actually see some actual rocks. Well, this is another outcrop that I was excited about from the topo maps, but looking at it, it's more of the same, just overgrown, sloughy with ledges of sandstone sticking out through here. So not overly exciting in terms of fossils anyways. Nice pretty creek though, running down through here. I will give it that. There are worse places to get skunked looking for fossils. You can see the tree line, but there's snow. That's the big ridge I get to climb up to get up out of here after I finish walking this outcrop, which isn't much of an outcrop. Oh well, onward and upward. Well, now we climb. There's no real trail here, more than just a bunch of different deer paths and human paths through the snow, but I know I gotta go up to the top of that hill. That's where my truck is, so that's where we're headed now. In doubt, just keep going uphill. Well, I made it back to the truck. Not a whole lot to see other than some big giant sandstones there, so you know, if that's your thing, it's a pretty cool spot. But if you're looking for these marine zones and fossils, not overly productive. I do have one more spot that I want to go check out. It's a famous spot that everybody goes to collect fossil ferns. Thought I'd go check on it and see what the snow situation and the fossil situation is like there. So I'm gonna head there now. Okay, so I just cleared the snow off of this, and there's a fern, and there's another fern. If I can get the snow off it, and there's another fern there, big piece of wood running right down through there, so I'm gonna see if I can chisel those out. Well, that was nice. I'm working this little bit of fall down here, and I popped a piece open, and there is a nice, decent Picopterus there. You can still see some of the pinnules are attached in there. It's got a little bit of matrix still on it that I can peel off with a X-Acto knife or a air pen when I get home, so that's a nice find. Tiny little fern right there. We got some pieces of calamites in there, and then another nice section of a fern right there. Well guys, I think that's it. It's starting to wind down a little bit. It's just there's too much snow here. There's a few inches of snow on all this, and it's really hard to find the rocks that we're looking for, but I did find a few. I'll get them cleaned up and show them to you when I get back to the house. So we're back at the house here, and I just wanted to go through the fossils that I did find and then show you some other stuff I found in the past that comes from this locality. So here is a big plate. There's some calamites pieces. stuck on here, and this was probably one of the nicer ferns that I found right there. Here's a big piece there, and you can see the little pinnules coming off the main stem going through there. This guy's a little weather worn there, but we find a nice little fern there, and another one right there. And then here's one of the bigger ones that I found today. Same thing, you see the stem going up through there. It's got a little bit of matrix on it right there, but then you can see the individual pinnules coming off right there. In fact, I don't know if these are actual ferns or if they're pinnules that broke off of, you know, something larger like that. You can see they look pretty similar. This is stuff I found in the past, so you can see there's that's more of a negative right there, but there's a nice fern right there. That's probably a neuropterus of some sort there. Another small one there. And then occasionally you get really lucky and you can find these plates that are just covered with, you know, here's a neuropterus here, and then there's some other little pinnules around on it there. So it's a good spot to go to. I usually do pretty well there. It was just a little bit more difficult today because of all the snow. On top of that, that's it's sort of it's a bank that doesn't get a whole lot of sun too, so even though it's nice and sunny out right now and pretty warm, there's no sun hitting that, so the snow has a harder time melting off it there. But anyways, that's the adventure today. They're not always incredibly successful, but that's the way it goes when you're exploring new places. So if you like what you saw here, if you could give the video a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That'd be great. Thanks so much.